Buddha.The Diyawadana Nilame is the office of Chief Lay Custodian of Temple of the Tooth, Kandy, Sri Lanka, formerly an office of the royal household. Today it remains a prestigious position, enriched with over 2,000 years of history to safeguard and carry out ancient rituals for the relic of the tooth of the Buddha. The Diyawadana Nilame has the responsibility of overseeing of all aspects of the Sri Dalada Maligawa. He has the traditional duty of organizing the annual pageant, the Kandy Esala Perahera. The current Diyawadana Nilame is Pradeep Nilangadela. Prior to 1815, during the Kingdom of Kandy, the Diyawadana Nilame was a minister of the royal court tasked with supplying the king with water and carrying out the ancient rituals to ensure rain during correct seasons. This duty is still carried out by the Diyawadana Nilame for the most relic of the tooth of the Buddha, marked by the water-cutting ceremony on the final day of the Esala Perahera. History of appointments. The Diyawadana Nilame is now elected by a far-flung electorate comprising the Venerable Mahanayaketheras of the Malwatanasgurya chapters, trustees of Buddhist temples with an annual income of Rs. 1,000, and registered with the public trustee and the divisional revenue offices in the Kandy areas. These offices have to be Buddhists and male. Lady administrative service officers are not eligible to vote. Each term of an elected Diyawadana Nilame is 10 years and he may run for a second term. It was a board of commissioners that had administered the Kandyan province until AD 1832. Colebrook and Cameron, who recommended the unification of the administration of the country, wrote, "The possession and exhibition of the relic of the Buddha is regarded by the natives of the Kandyan provinces as the most important of the prerogative of the King of Kandy under the charge of the Board of Commissioners. When it is exposed to the view, the people of all classes are expected to repair from the remotest provinces to the capital." The relic was exhibited in 1828 AD in the presence of the governor and other authorities. This ceremony, which was conducted with great pomp, the selection and appointment of chiefs and priests of temples, was a prerogative of the kings of Kandy, which is still exercised by the government, although in the nomination to the priesthood the recommendations from the Vihars are usually attended. The matters relating to the Dalada, Asgurya, Malwat, Devala, Nilames etc. were discussed at length in the British cabinet in 1853 AD. The Duke of Newcastle, the Secretary of State for the Colonies, wrote to Sir George Anderson, the Governor of Ceylon, on the 18th of August 1853, as follows regarding the future custodian of Dalada and the election of the Diyawadana Nilame: "I have likewise to approve of what you have done as regards the Dalada of the sacred tooth relic, which I am glad to find again relinquished, as in 1847, to 3 of the principal Buddhists. I have no doubt you have exercised a sound discretion in making no specific condition with respect to the exhibition of this relic, and contenting yourself with a general caution to the persons placed in charge of it. The arrangements adopted by you, with respect to the Basnayake Nilames and Dewa Nilame, the secular superintendents Harifa appointed by the government, had been to create constituencies for the purpose of electing these functionaries out of the Basnayake Nilames and principal native headmen of the respective districts, the Nilame being also made on election for the Basnayake Nilame in certain cases, and then to provide the persons chosen by these constituencies with a government certificate of recognition similar to that of the protection of the chief priests. and it appears that both Adela Nilame and Abasna Yake Nilame have been already elected upon this new system. The election machinery thus introduced is certainly open to some objections, but no arrangement appears to have been suggested, nor does any occur to me, which would not have involved other objections at least as great. Temple of the Tooth had been managed for the longest period by the Nugawela family, who have served the post of Diyawadana Nilame of the Temple of the Tooth for 6 decades from 1901 to 1961. C.B. Nugawela of Eladata father of the first Adigawa, the late Soloranese Nugawela, is credited for doing a considerable amount of work for the Temple of the Tooth. During his period of office he built the front portion of the Dalada Maligawa and also a temple for the priests performing the vava to the sacred tooth relic. Similarly, P.B. Nugawela, the father of a former Minister of Education, the late Major E.A. Nugawela, contributed immensely to the development of the Temple of the Tooth. He was responsible for introducing VES dances to the Perahera. He also built a 3-story extension to the Maligawa with the help of a Burmese priest. Diyawadana Nilame since 1814. Kapuvat Adikaram, Dihagama Lok Ubanda, Kuda Moligada, Kuda Dihagama, Mulagama Adikaram, Dulava Adikaram, Lok Ubanda Dihagama, Kuda Banda Dunavila, Kuda Mudi Yans Jaragama, Senaviratna Ratwat, Kuda Bandara Nugawela, Punchi Banda Nugawela, Tiki Re Banda Nugawela, Kuda Banda Nugawela, Haras Luki Ratwat, Heen Banda, Sudurawana, Dr. Nisanka Wijay Ratna, Naranjan Wijay Ratna, Pradeep Nilam Adela, acting Diyawadana Nilame since 1814. Acting Diyawadana Nilame appointed by the Commissioner of Buddhist Affairs with recommendation from Mahanika Theras of the Malwatan Asgurya chapters. General Anurada Ratwat, Anurada Daleva Wijay Ratna, Rohan Salinda Paranagama.